Namaste everyone and welcome back to my channel Awaken with Pradnya. I wanted to have a very hot sort of a topic to start this new year, and I thought that what else I can talk about other than separation. So most of the people who are right now in the state of separation with their twin flame, if I really want to comment on what is happening right now currently, this is my personal feeling, inner knowing, which comes through my meditations or whatever you want to call it. There is a lot of change happening, and there are a lot of feminines who are in the process of a lot of shift. And I have also noticed that the masculine energy is waking up. You can literally feel it. You can see it around. There are people who are approaching me for whatever reasons. I see that masculine is awakening. And I think this year is going to be a very significant and important year when it comes to twin flames, their spiritual ascension, and their coming future in the next 3 to 5 years. And that is why I feel that this understanding of what separation is and what exactly you need to understand about twin flame separation becomes very crucial, very critical. And that is why I thought that might as well I speak about twin flame separation in this video. So I'm going to talk about the 6 things which will change the way you think about your separation. And if you change the way you think about separation, there are a lot of things which are going to change for you. Before I begin, I urge everybody who is newly watching my YouTube channel to please subscribe my YouTube channel and also click on the notification icon. And all those who want any sort of a personal assistance, I also do offer one-to-one sessions, and I have given the details in the links which are put in the description of this video. Now let's first look at the physical separation of twin flames. If you really look at that particular scenario, you would realize that physical separation is just an extension of your mental separation. Take the scenario that there is a married couple who is perfectly in harmony with each other. They love each other, they care for each other. But the husband gets a job in some other city and they take this decision that, okay, I would stay away for my job. Within a month or 2 months, we would meet each other. So the couple gets physically separated, but they are mentally 100% aligned with each other. Would you really call that as a separation? If you also take another scenario where there is a married couple who stays under one roof in one house, but they are not mentally aligned with each other. They don't get along. They are not interested in each other. There is some sort of a disalignment between the husband and wife. So even though they are physically staying together, would you really say that they are together and not separated? Not really, because even if they are staying together physically, there is no mental alignment. They are completely disaligned mentally. So in a way, it is a separation. So if you really look at this whole phenomena, when you call that somebody is in separation, that separation is starting from your mental disalignment. It doesn't really matter where do you stay or are you really staying together under one roof. It's a very small aspect. What is the most important part of your separation or togetherness is your mental alignment. And many people get this wrong. They feel that, oh, twin flame separation is about physical separation. So if you are not physically together, that means you are separated. Not necessarily. There are a lot of twin flames who are physically not together, but they are emotionally, mentally, completely on the same page, and they are mentally aligned with each other. So yes, they are in physical separation, but that is just a cherry on the cake, which would happen some or the other time. First and foremost hurdle most of the twin flames would face is coming into mental alignment with their twin flame. And for that, you got to do your inner work. Separation happens for some sort of a higher reason for twin flames. Most of the time, it is seemingly a very mundane or stupid reason why twin flames would separate. I mean, you would sit back and start thinking that this was not even a reason to get separated. Why are we separated? So you wouldn't really find sufficient enough justification for that separation, or there could be some sort of a complex scenario which is planted in your path, like you are married to different people and it's very difficult to cope up with that whole situation, or your twin flame is somebody who is from your extended family, some relative of yours, or maybe your twin flame is your therapist. So the whole scenario between you and your twin flame will be as such. Your soul has chosen that particular sort of a setting when you encounter your twin flame, where interacting with them or being together with them physically looks or seems almost impossible. There is some sort of a challenge which is put in front of you. And we would start wondering, why is that so? Why, if we are each other's twin flames and we are supposed to meet each other and we are the spiritual partners for each other, why such unreasonable situations are happening around us? And I think every twin flame would choose some sort of a scenario which separates them. Why every twin flame has any some sort of a setting like that? Because that sort of a separation is needed on the twin flame path. Unless and until you are separated, you are not really going to wake up on your spiritual path. And that is why I say that there is a higher reason why you are separated from your twin flame. It's not just some mere attraction to somebody where you two meet and you get attracted to each other and then you fall in love and you go along with each other forever in your life. Twin flame connection is definitely not something like that. Twin flame separation happens so that your soul is awakening to your spiritual purpose and your ascension process is triggered, especially for the person who has taken this role of spiritual twin, who is supposed to carry the consciousness of this journey. That person is high likely to get awakened first, and their awakening and ascension will start progressing after the twin flame separation comes into picture. You would also say that, okay, we can just awaken and we can start ascending. Why we have to separate from our twin flame? And the answer to that is that if you are not separated, you are not going to wake up, you are not going to ask the required questions which you are supposed to ask yourself. Most of the time, the separation would happen to take you out of your comfort zone. If you are with your twin flame, not separated from them, there won't be any reason for you to get up and start asking questions because there is no trigger. You aren't triggered by anything. So why would you wake up and start asking questions in your life if everything is going the way you want? And that is where this role of your twin flame comes in. They come in your life, they encounter with you, they activate your spiritual awakening, and they would disappear, and the separation would begin. And that exact period of separation, you would end up awakening and ascending in the due course of time. I would also say that I have seen a few evolved twin flame couples where there was a very less period of separation or running chasing. They encountered, they recognized each other. There was some sort of a transition period where there was a turmoil and separation, but very quickly they got aligned with each other and they straightway activated their mission and started working on their mission. I have seen such examples, and I think that those twin flames have already worked upon themselves in maybe their previous lives, because in these lives they don't really have to go through that experience again because they have already come a certain way in their spiritual journey. So they would directly get on to their spiritual mission. But most of the twin flames who are awakening are going through a separation phase because they haven't processed their awakening and ascension till the point where they can again come back in harmony with each other. And that's why that separation is absolutely required. Third and very important point I want to mention about separation is that separation will ignite your spiritual path and your spiritual progress, and you would start learning your spiritual lessons when you are in twin flame separation. First thing is you would start working on yourself only because you want to end separation. How many of you, when you were awakened to this idea of twin flames and you read about this twin flame separation and union, how many of you had this urge to do some sort of a inner work or to do whatever it takes to end your separation? And that is how the divine is making you work on yourself, because if there is no carrot shown like that to you, you wouldn't be really working on yourself, because you really need a great motivation to work on yourself. Otherwise it's very tough to go through harder spiritual lessons. So that is the first thing when it comes to separation pushing you on your spiritual path. Second thing is you will seek answers because you are starting to have some questions in your mind, because you are in separation. If you are not in separation, there is no question which was going to come to your mind, that why me, why this is happening, who is this guy, what is this love all about, why I'm feeling so much pain, will we ever come back together, what this whole intense feeling is all about. Why you are asking these questions? Because you are in separation. If you are not in separation, you wouldn't even think of all these questions. So knowingly or unknowingly, you are starting this quest, your own spiritual journey, on your own spiritual path. Separation is the time when you learn about the most amazing thing which anybody would learn on their own spiritual path. That is about faith, belief, and trust in the divine. I think the divine has invented this most beautiful way to put your spiritual partner on your face and then remove them from your path to make you really go crazy. And in due course of time, when you are seeking some sort of a solution to end your separation from your spiritual partner, you start learning about faith, you start learning about belief. And I think all these are like real big virtues of any soul evolution. Learning about faith would definitely is definitely a very hard lesson for any soul. Learning about belief is definitely a very hard lesson for any soul. So when you don't have any sort of a outer validation, or you don't have any sort of a outer sign which shows you something, some clue in your life, you have only one thing, that is blind faith, blind trust in the divine. And I think this journey and this separation period exactly teaches you that. So I feel when a soul is learning about faith, belief, and trust in the divine, it cannot be learned any better way than you would learn it in the separation. So you can understand how the twin flame separation, it's such a great factor of this twin flame journey and why it is needed. If that separation was not there, you would not learn what you are learning on this path. And last but not the least is that you would end up working on the core inner issues of your soul, which includes your ego, your judgment, your expectations, and your attachment. These are the four things which block anybody from progressing in their spiritual journey. And I think on this journey, you are definitely going to deal with all these four factors big time. And why you are getting this opportunity to work on these four factors? Because you are in separation. If you were in union with your twin flame, you would never even realize what these issues are all about. Fourth and very amazing thing is you would start tapping into higher vibrations, because as we say that when one door is closed, the another opens. So when your physical door is closed to reach your twin flame, you would start knocking on other doors because you are feeling so intensely about them. There is some sort of a outlet or some sort of a ray of hope you want to figure out. And how you would start doing that? By connecting with your twin flame in other dimensions. So this is the period when you start feeling telepathic connection with your twin flame, or some people start getting very vivid dreams about their twin flame. So there is some sort of a communication which starts happening with you and your twin flame in the physical separation, but in other dimensions. So somewhere your soul is exploring these avenues of connecting with them. And I think as a soul, it's a great progress because you are not anymore relying only on the third dimension. You have also started opening up to other possibilities. There are so many people we see on Quora asking, how can I astral project? How can I lucid dream? How I can send some sort of a message to my twin flame. Is my twin flame thinking about me? I got this sort of a dream. What does that mean? Why you are asking these questions? Because you are trying to get through that connection, get towards that connection through different avenues apart from the third dimension. Some have even naturally started unblocking their psychic abilities, your clairvoyance, seeing visuals, listening to hearing sounds, or seeing some sort of a visual. Because you are not able to connect with them physically, your soul is figuring out different avenues, some sort of psychic abilities or other dimensional possibilities your soul has started exploring. And this is what is the quest of your soul, which is naturally happening because you are in separation. The fifth and very important thing is that you would start understanding what love is all really all about. You would start understanding or knowing in much more depth, because so far before you met your twin flame you had certain notions about love, that how love looks and feels like. It's all about happiness, support, companionship, and everything is like candlelight dinner and roses and gifts and somebody there offering their shoulder for you to cry on and hold your hands and dance with you. That's like a normal concept of love in everybody's mind. But when you meet your twin flame and you get separated, you also start exploring other aspects of what love is. And you slowly start realizing that pain is also love. And in due course of time, you also start realizing that forgiveness is also love. Not expecting anything from another person in return is also love. Controlling your anger is also love. Having a smile on your face when you think about them, even if they are not thinking about you, is also love. You have started to figure out different definitions of what love is for you. And this other side of love you wouldn't have figured out if you had not met this person. And as Khalil Gibran, the philosopher, the author, philosopher, always says that the depth of love cannot be understood unless you are separated from that person. And it is so true. You wouldn't really realize what is the depth of your love for that particular person, in what sort of situations you can still hold that love for that person in your heart. You would only understand when you are separated from that person. And vice versa. You would also realize how much that person loves you unless you are separated. And last but not the least, separation is a part of union process. As I always say that twin flame union is not an event. It's not something which happens one day, one evening we came in union. It's not that sort of a event. Union is a process. And the process of union starts the day you meet your twin flame, the day you encounter your twin flame, because that encounter happens, some things get activated, then you get separated, you start working on yourself. So your encounter is the activation point, and whatever happens after that is just a part of the process of that union with each other. So if you look at this whole union as a process, you would understand that separation is a part of the union process. You cannot really segregate separation separately from the process of union. Once you start working on yourself and you learn what you were supposed to learn in the due course of time, in that separation period, your alignment will automatically start happening. As I say, that union happens on 5 levels: spiritual level, emotional level, mental level, energetic level, and physical level. So as you are separated and you start working on yourself, you would start getting aligned with each other on some or the other level, and slowly you would start progressing. So the more you start getting aligned with each other on different levels, the separation is also going to get over. So if you are starting to get mentally aligned with each other, you can say that we are mentally in union with each other. We are not in separation. So the mental separation has ended over there, because you have worked on yourself and you have got aligned with each other on the mental level. So whatever you are working on in due course of time in that separation is bringing you closer and ending that separation. So separation is the part of union process. So most of you who are typically victimizing yourself for being in separation, or many of you may be having a lot of pain or sadness if you are in separation, what you really need to keep it in mind is that you are already on your way to union. That is what you need to shift in your awareness. If you are separated, that means some process has started in your journey, and as a great requirement in your journey, you are separated right now. And how that separation can end: when you work on your mental alignment, when you work on your emotional shortcomings. When you are doing that, which we typically call as inner work, you are automatically going to get aligned with your twin flame in that particular aspect, and the separation is going to end in that particular aspect. So if you are working on your shortcomings on your in your emotions, you will be definitely getting emotionally aligned with your twin flame. The same thing will happen mentally, same thing will happen energetically in due course of time as you work on yourself. Don't take separation as something which you have messed up. Don't blame yourself for any sort of a separation, because whatever is happening with some sort of a divine intervention, especially in a twin flame connection. So look at your separation wisely, look at your separation from the higher perspective, and do the needful. Whatever you need to do, you need to introspect, and you need to really work on your shortcomings. You really need to work on the things which are holding you back from coming into your own balance. If you do that, you would definitely start noticing the shift. So I hope today's video is going to help all those who are feeling sad in separation. And I hope that you start looking at separation in much more positive way, and you acknowledge and accept and understand that twin flame separation is very much a part of union process. This is all for today, and see you in the next video.